Today I'll be telling you guys the ugly truth about professional calibrations as a professional calibrator. So smack a like on this video, but we're getting to the point right now. So a lot of you guys, when you hire a professional calibrator, wonder how the picture quality is going to look. And I know that I was addressing this in my last video, saying that basically you got to lower those expectations. It's not going to be like some magic fix if you're expecting something reference accurate. But what you guys also don't know is that most of you can get most of the way there by yourself with the Calman software, Mobile Forge, and an X-Rite i1 Display Pro color meter. I've been testing this for several months, and I've been comparing the results against Klein Instruments and various other colorimeters and spectrophotometers. And the reality is, honestly speaking, you can still get a delta error of 3 and lower on an X-Rite i1 Display Pro, and that's all you really need because that's all that's perceptible. And the reality is, when you hire a professional, professionals tend to be nitpicky and try to get delta errors of like 0.25. That is not something you'll ever see a benefit from, because in reality, a delta error below 3 is all that's perceptible to the human eye, and this is just the science behind it. So when you hire a professional that's sitting there trying to get those ultra low, ridiculously low delta errors, it's pretty much overkill, because again, once you get below 3, you can stop, because nobody's going to see a delta error of 1. It's just not going to happen. It's not perceivable. And the reality is, it's this illusion that a professional is doing something more than what you can do. I experience this a lot in my field as being a professional photographer as well. I can't tell you how many shoots I've gone on where people are just sitting there bullshitting the client, talking about, oh yeah, and we have all these special tricks and techniques. It's not really that advanced. You point, you take a picture, you compose it, you maybe get lighting correct. That's the hardest thing. But honestly speaking, a lot of the professional fields are just bullshitting their way into overcharging you, really. And anybody that's charging you excess of over $500 for a professional calibrator, especially when all they're going to do is sit there and adjust to a reference standard, which you can follow prompts in Calman and do yourself. Honestly speaking, I think that's something you might want to reevaluate. The reason I'm bringing this to your attention is because I have a big problem with people who want to call themselves professional calibrators, but the moment you ask them to start using picture processing and balance out the image in a way that still gives a very pleasing but still accurate image quality, they can't do it. I get really bothered by that, because it just kind of proves that they're too reliant upon the software. They're too reliant on what the old reference standards are, not taking advantage of the 10-bit displays we have today, ignoring all the new advances in picture processing even that can help things like, you know, motion processing and so on and so forth. And there's so many other things that go along with it. And so I'm making this as kind of like a disclaimer and kind of like a way to help you guys out, because I know a lot of you guys are interested in buying calibrations and maybe dabbling in it, but you may be able to just do it yourself. So again, get yourself an X-Rite i1 Display Pro colorimeter, get yourself your variant of Calman. Calman now does this weird thing where they break it up into a bunch of different licenses for the specific television, or if you want, you can spend more money and buy the studio version, but I mean, really, that's overkill. You don't really need to do that for home use. And honestly speaking, you can do a lot on your own just following the prompts in a basic workflow in Calman. And I kind of addressed this on one of the comments on the poll that I had, but I wanted to make a video out of it because I figured, well, there was one person that had this question as to what a calibration can do for them, then others would have it, because the individual that I'm talking about kind of felt like they're paying for a calibration, but they're afraid of paying for something that they can do themselves. And I'm not going to be somebody that's going to mislead you or bullshit you. I might do this for a profession, but I know I'm better than everybody else at it, so I can tell you this kind of stuff because I'm going to get business either way, right? And the reality is, when you're talking about a professional calibration, you can absolutely do something like that yourself. The only thing that makes it a quotation mark professional calibration is they sat through classes and certifications to learn about 3D LUTs and a whole bunch of other things that honestly in practice you're not going to use most of the time. We're really just adjusting your grayscale on a multi-point level and giving you an image that is more quotation mark reference accurate in accordance to certain standards. But honestly speaking, if you know what to look for, it's very, very, very easy, and a caveman can do it. So that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for watching the #1 brand in honesty. If you have questions about this, or maybe you're looking to dabble into calibration, go ahead, ask your questions down below, and I'll help you get started with all the equipment and stuff that you can use and what you need to do, and try to guide you guys in the right direction, just to help you guys out and get you guys going. Because unfortunately, I don't mix YouTube with my business. I know a lot of people wish that I could calibrate their TV. It'd be fun for me, but honestly, to avoid any kind of issues, I'm just not going to be doing that. And honestly, I don't want to reveal my identity. It's just something I just want to keep private and all that stuff. You guys know how it is. But that being said, again, I want to thank you guys for watching the #1 brand in honesty. Sound off in the comments down below with your questions, thoughts, and concerns. And until the next video, I'll see you guys later.